I'm Margaret. Welcome to the Madison Public Library's video on how to create and work with Plarn. Plarn is basically plastic yarn made usually from grocery bags that are cut into strips, looped together, and used in a number of different ways. Here are some ways to use it. This is a tote that I made. It's called the Ultimate Recycled Market Bag. It's from a pattern by Amanda Stevens and is available online. Google it. This is another tote that I made that I kind of just single crocheted the pattern, and even the flowers are made out of Plarn by using a flower loom to create the flowers. You can also knit with Plarn, and this would create a strap for a bag, or maybe even a belt. Another thing you can do with Plarn is you can weave. And here's a sample of some weaving that would make a placemat. Here's another one that I've started. And these would make a placemat, or could even make a tote bag if you made a couple of them and sew them together. Another thing that lots of people use Plarn for is they use it to create a sleeping mat for the homeless. And this is made with a wider Plarn and takes a large number of bags, but it's good for the homeless because the bugs don't like the plastic. So it gives them a little bit of a cushion and keeps the bugs away from them. So those are some of the things that we can use from Plarn. And in a moment, I'll show you how to create Plarn. Okay, to make Plarn, you cut plastic bags into strips for the size of the project that you're doing. You do not want to use cellophane. So if it crinkles like that, it's no good. You want to use plastic bags like you get at the grocery store. It doesn't matter what's on them. The first thing you do is you kind of straighten them out. And I like to fold mine into fours the long way. And then we are going to cut off the bottom. That won't work for our projects. Now you need to have a scrap bag, a waste bag, and you need to put things in there. You can use these after you're all finished with all your things. You could use them to stuff a pillow, and then an outside pillow. It could be a waterproof pillow out on your deck. All right. So I'm going to make 1-inch strips now. My market bag and my tote bags and my weavings and flowers used either a 1/2 inch or 1-inch strips. The sleeping mat for the homeless used 3-inch strips, and I've even seen some patterns for the homeless mats that call for 6-inch strips. I'm using scissors and a ruler, and you don't have to be exact. This is not rocket science. I'm just using it to I'm cutting 1-inch strips and just kind of leaning it up against there and starting my cut and then cutting through. And moving down. And if they're not exact, that's okay. It all comes out in the end. And if things aren't always straight, that's okay too, because it's going to work right into whatever project you're using with it. Now when you get down close to this end, some of these are going to be the ends of the bags and stuff, so this is all waste as well and goes into your waste bag to be out of the way. All right, one thing I want to mention about when you're picking out the bags for your Plarn, you want to look for holes. If there are holes at the edge of the bag like this, that's fine because you're going to cut off some of it anyway. But the holes in the center of it like that, you're probably better off not using those bags because it'll weaken the loops when you go to make them. So I would just put them in my garbage bag and not bother using it. All right. Another tool I have other than scissors and the ruler is to use a cutting mat and a rotary cutter and a strip cutter. This is a rotary cutter. It's very sharp and very dangerous. This is a strip cutter, and this is a cutting mat. These tools are mostly used for quilting. I had these before I ever heard of Plarn. I would not probably go out and buy them just to make Plarn unless you were doing a major project with a large group like making homeless mats for the homeless, because these are not inexpensive tools. All right, so what I usually do is I take my bag and I fold them in quarters lengthwise and smooth it out. Lift the strip cutter out of the way for a second and line these up. Notice that I'm putting the end of it just beyond this first line where I'm going to be cutting with the strip cutter and the rotary cutter. And I can line up several at a time. And I usually do them with all the same color together, because then I can put all those loops together in a bag and have them sorted by color. Then I line up the strip cutter. I like to line it up with the lines on the rotary cutter and mat. And now I'm beginning to cut. I open my rotary cutter up, and it goes in the slot at the bottom, and it goes through and cuts through. Then I close it, and I'm going to get rid of these ends that we're not going to use, and they're going in my trash bag, which, as I said before, we can reuse that to stuff pillows or just discard it. I'm cutting 1-inch strips today, so I'm starting at this 12 and I'm going down by inches, so I'll start with the 11. And cut through. Then 10. And I can hear it cutting as I go through. That wasn't quite lined up. There we go. Now the wonder of this is I can cut skinnier or wider strips if I want to. Oops. And I want to keep my hand well out of the way. Now, if I were really desperate for strips, I could probably move this over and try and cut another inch strip. But as you see, things kind of move around. You kind of have to watch, because down at the end here, sometimes the bags are not all there. So we're going to cut that, and that's all waste going in the waste bag. Move this out of the way. And this last one didn't cut too well, but as you see, what happened was, because I was way at the end, it didn't cut full strips there. So that is also just going to be waste. Now here we see my rotary cutter didn't go through quite everything. And so I would just take my scissors and I would cut through that. But these other ones are fine. So I like to take these all and put them in a plastic bag. Maybe a bigger one. So they're all together. And I can use them on whatever project I planned. Here again, there's little pieces that don't. All right. Now I'm going to show you how to join the loops together. So you open it up. Oops, that one broke. All right, so we open it up and we make a loop like that. We take the next loop. And the easiest thing to do is put one loop end on top of the other, lift up the and pull it through. And you've joined your loops together. Now these that, for some reason or other, the bag broke or it cut, I can just tie a knot in. Open it up, and I can add that loop on the same way. And I can take my scissors and I can cut that off when I go to work on my project. All right, so then I can knit, I can crochet, I can braid it and make a cord, and that's how I make Plarn and use Plarn. And it doesn't matter whether I use 1-inch strips, 2-inch strips, 3-inch strips. It's all the same process of joining the loops. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching our Plarn video. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest.